Hey, welcome to the process. My name is Dr. John Bush. Wanted to give my folks who pay attention to me a preview of what's going to be coming next week and a half, two. I hope I'll knock that out. I am in the middle of doing my second year of beta testing, looking to improve and get the median weekly consistency tool that plays right off of DMike's weekly value tool. Pretty much we're measuring consistency. Mine's a little different than his. So as part of science, hey, if his works out to be better, then, I'll be using his as a measuring stick for my redrafts this year. But right now, being a beta tester, that means I'm probably 2, 3, 4 years out from kind of having a solid conclusion. But he has convinced me that median consistency is a strong suit that you can play in this game. Okay, it's not everything. It's not the only thing. I mean, there's value as well. I'm a big value play as well. And just kind of looking at other metrics and things I come up with, look at my past lessons, you'll see other approaches. So I generate a statistical gumbo, being from Louisiana, and I just thought it's July 2nd here. I'm in between actually working on the running backs for weekly consistency. And I said, well, why don't I do a little bit for people just to wet your whistle? Okay. Maybe this font's a little strong. Anyway, I abbreviate this tool. I call it counts over median, COMS. Okay, I know everybody's got their buzzwords and all sorts of stuff, but hey, as a scientist, it's what we do. We invent things like that, right? Science, you have to learn the language, right? If you're a biologist, you have to understand and speak the language. Physicists have their language, engineers, chemists, biologists. We have our language. So this is my fantasy football stats language. Counts over median. This is a weekly measurement of a player's consistency over a season. Okay, so I look at all 16 games played and determine their fantasy points each week, and does it hit the median for that position. You're saying, where'd you come up with that? Well, you'll get into that coming. Let's just say I have data from 2014 up, and so I kind of know what's gone on in the past, right? So that's going to be my starting point. Median consistency, an expectation of a player, depending on their position, what they're doing. And so I calculate the COMS, which is just a number, right? The highest would be 16, right? That would be just, I don't know if anybody's ever hit 16 out of 16. Don't think so. We do have some quarterbacks that have hit 80% of that. So what is that? That's about 14 games or so. What is that? 81, 4, 12, 13 games? Yeah. So there's some really interesting quarterbacks here. You'll have to find out about my research. So I get a number. That number counts over the median, the weekly measurement of every player that did any kind of weekly activity, fantasy points per game, basically per week. And then I calculate percentage. So we have to take into account how many games a player played, right? They could have got injured. So it would be unfair to give somebody a 3 weeks above median when they only played 3 games. That'd be 100%. Okay, so that would not work out. So I figured the comp number per game, that's the percentage of the games played that the player scored above that weekly number, fantasy points per game per week number. Median for the position 2014 to 22. So I just did a cartoon here, a little bit sketch of 2 mythical players, and I looked at 6 weeks fantasy points. So player A, week 1, 14, then 18, 18, 6, 18, and 6. Okay, for a total of 80 fantasy points. So if you use 80 fantasy points as your mark, there it is. And if you divide 80 by, 6, you get 13.4. I would score them at 4 comps per percent would be 67, right? So 4 out of 6. So they would get a 67 on the comps. Player B, 8, 24, 6, 24, 6, 13. They get 81. So if you follow into the season fantasy points, you would give B the advantage. And if you divide, he would 13.5. However, my comps would give a 2, and he would be 33. So yes, he would have definitely got you 2 weeks out of 6, probably victories or really good. Player A, though, would have got you for sure 3 competitive weeks, maybe even 4, with 14. In other words, kept you in the game and may have won or been second or third in the league. I would rate player A better as a long-term value for the season than player B. In best ball, though, then player B would, you'd probably want A and B, right? You want to collect those 2 weeks that they scored, but you do like A's kind of 4 out of 6 or 67%. So we're probably not talking best ball. We're talking redraft here on some of that, right? But anyway, that gives you an idea. 2 similar, in other words, if I'm box my vision in, right, tunnel vision, 80, 81, well, player B's better. And then I can go on Twitter and flap my chops about how player B's having a breakout season, whatever, I don't know. Whatever you will spend to make your feelings feel good, right? Your cognitive dissonance, you keep that low. And 13.5, he's superior to A. I don't fight Twitter battles much, but I would be like, yeah, okay, I see you in the league. I'll take player A at 67, at least with this scenario. At least using the method, not worried about value in draft, etc., etc. Obviously, if player A costs me more rounds of capital than B, then, okay, I'll take B at the right time. Everybody has their right time and value. Anyway, so I just wanted to give y'all a view of what I'm doing. I've finished the quarterbacks, and I think that's pretty neat. So we'll have that data coming. I'll look at 2023's ADPs. I'll try to tier out players based on last year's comp percent. Okay. Is it 100% accurate? Hey, I'm doing beta tests. But unless you've got another metric, what you got? I'm trying to do something different. This is what I'm doing. Thanks for listening. Come back when I'll have the complete this lesson here. I'll go through all my secret data. Take care. We're having fun.